What is going on, family? Hope y'all been doing good. Hope y'all been doing well. Back with another video. And this is probably the first time I've even done something like this on this channel, but I wanted to do a little bit of a discussion video. And as you can see in the title, it's talking about some Palworld and talking about Pokemon. Palworld is a game that has broken countless of records in like literally a week. In sales, being the biggest game on Steam, like with most concurrent players, like it's genuinely insane, Of course, there's been a lot of controversy on Twitter, on TikTok, on all of social media, on all of the internet, talking about some of them copying designs, the potential use of AI. Like, you know what I'm saying? Is it just a Pokemon clone? Is it not a Pokemon clone? Is it more like, is it really just Pokemon with guns? Is it Pokemon plus Arc, which is what I think what it is, right? And let's kind of get into it. Just talk about a lot of different points. But like my main thing to round this video off at the end is the fact that I genuinely feel like Pokemon is going to continue to do the same stuff, and they're not going to really care about the success coming from Palworld. And we're going to get into the reason why I think that, right? So first things first, right? Palworld is nothing like Pokemon. Just kind of get that out the front door. Yes, they like for some designs, like the whole grass Cinderace and things like that. Obviously, when it comes to the design portion, there's a lot of copying, and like no matter what they say, no matter like any of the fans from Palworld can say, they for sure took some of the designs from Pokemon, like just verbatim. You know what I'm saying? Some of them some of them are reaches. Like I can kind of see it, but y'all are kind of trying to just be a little bit too hard on them. But some of them, like that grass Cinderace, that's like probably the biggest one. That's most people are like, yes, that is a genuine copy, right? That kind of stuff, I can definitely see it. But for how the game really plays, and it's a survival game. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I mentioned it before. Pokemon times Arc, it's really just like Arc in my opinion, or any other survival game that's kind of like that. Like even like the UI, even the way like you unlock different technologies in the game and things like that is genuinely like Arc. Of course, I get the whole creatures and capturing stuff like that, but you can capture dinosaurs in Arc too. You know what I'm saying? It's a different, sort of thing if you have to like, beat them up and then tame them and feed them and things like that. But it's still the same concept. So this whole like Pokemon clone and stuff like that, I feel like it's just disingenuous. And the thing is, if we are going to talk about like Pokemon clones, because I know a lot of people have been bringing up things like Cassette Beast, and Koromon and things like that, other like Digimon too, of other like taming monster Pokemon like games that when they come out, people already automatically bash them, they don't do well. But then something like Palworld comes out and it does so well, it blows everything out the water, is breaking all these records, things like that. I think that's the core of the reason, is because it's not like Pokemon at its core. Yes, the designs, but the gameplay loop, how everything is like a lot of it is automated and things like that. Even comparing it to Pokemon Legends Arceus on the Switch, of course there are a lot of similarities with it being open world and you can gather things and craft things and things like that. But even then, like you can't go live on the land. There's not a hunger bar. There's not a heat and an ice bar. You know what I'm saying? There's not it's a vastly different game. There's a lot of different survival aspects that are in Palworld. I think that gameplay loop is the reason why it's so fun. And then of course they added all like the cuddly cute monsters that really kind of tied everything together. So I think that's the core reason why it did so well. But that's also the same, like it goes kind of hand in hand of like, that's the reason why it does so well, and it kind of sets itself apart from other Pokemon like games. But at the same time, that's why I feel like generally Pokemon will not give a damn when it comes to Generation 10 or any other game they put out after this point. When it'd be a remaster, like how we had BDSP, they might do something for Black and White or something like that, or maybe like an X and Y, who knows, right? Or we get like a Legends Celebi or something like that, a Legends Kyurem, or they do just announce Generation 10. It's still probably gonna be the same half-baked, on a deadline, no effort, just no creativity, and not even coming from like the developers, like the people who are actually working on the game, just like the higher ups who forced them to like, you need to make this generation like in a year. Even though these Pokemon games really genuinely need like 3-4 years to make them really as good as they're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And we all know, we always say the same thing. There's no reason why on the Switch we have games like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and then you have Pokemon over here just putting out trash after trash after trash. So I think that's kind of the same thing, because Pokemon in itself now, I feel like it has surpassed the games, right? Like we know that they have the anime going on, they have the merch going on, they have all the other like secondary games, looking at like Pokemon Unite, and even like the mobile ones like with Pokemon Go and how big that is, and Pokemon Cafe and just other things like that. it's a brand. Pokemon is a brand. I've been seeing that. I've been heard this been said a lot. I think that's like the main focal point of why, like, I feel like Pokemon truly won't care. Like, they might, I know that people are talking about them suing Palworld and things like that due to like with the designs and everything like that, and like maybe they did copy some of the models verbatim and things like that. And that's been having a lot more to do with the art community on especially on Twitter, where like they've really been like delving deep and looking at the pixels and things like that, because they find integrity very important over there. But like Pokemon is a brand, so I feel like this overarching, if we're talking about like game versus game and like, well, this is like good competition for them and things like that, in a sense I can see it that way. But like I said, Pokemon is too big at this point. It's genuinely too big. Even like, for example, right? I don't know if y'all seen it, but they're making a new show on Netflix, and it's a what's it called? Not a live action. It's like a stop motion. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like they have like little you have to move something and then stop it and then move them again and stop it and record it. They have, I think it's called stop motion, and they have a new show coming out on Netflix, and it looks, when I tell you, it looks so beautiful. It has so much time and care and effort into it. The Pokemon, the main character, it looks beautiful, genuinely beautiful. And people are kind of posing the question, they have all this care and time to put into something like this, but what about the mainstream, the mainline Pokemon games? We haven't got something like this that has this much care and love put into it probably since like X and Y, maybe Sun and Moon, for sure Black and White. You know what I'm saying? Because the reason for it is because literally I feel like they only pump out these Pokemon games at this point is for the new generation. They only care about this new, like, to pump out the starters, pump out their new regional bird, pump out these legendaries so they can throw them on a t-shirt, so they can make the plushie, so they can make the Pokemon. I didn't even talk about the Pokemon cards. That's where this all started from, is the Pokemon cards. They have all these different things they can put these their mascots on, to where they don't really have to care for the game. And then I guess even playing into that as well is that these games still sell very, very well. I think Scarlet and Violet had a crazy opening when the game dropped. Crazy opening, and with how buggy it was and things like that. And people were slandering it as soon as it came out. It had a crazy opening when the shit came out. That's exactly what I'm talking. And I'm myself included. I'm not to say like I hate people on Twitter right now who are trying to sit on their high horse and act like they're like some type of like Pokemon elitist and be like, see, I don't play these games. I haven't touched these games since Black and White. It's like, bro, whether you haven't been playing the games or whether you have played the games, these like more recent ones, we're all Pokemon fans and we all want to see Pokemon be great. You know what I'm saying? But like thing is, I'm subject to it too. I bought PDSP. I don't know why. I bought BDSP. I bought a Switch to play Sword and Shield, which is a lot of people hate Sword and Shield, right? I played Legends Arceus. I played Scarlet and Violet. I played all of these games. And, you know, was it worth it in hindsight? Maybe some of them, like Legends Arceus, even Scarlet and Violet, with how buggy it was a good game at its core, but the bugs and the frame drops was genuinely insane. And how it's lifeless some of the cities and gyms felt and stuff like that, but I digress. These games still sold very, very well. So it's like, if they can put out some trash, right, and not really have to put the care, not have to spend 3 or 4 years on these games, and they can kind of put these games on, they still sell very, very well. And then they can put all the rest of their resources and time into the anime, into the Pokemon cards, into the other games, into the merchandise, into Pokemon stores and things like that. They're going to do that. Because we know how these companies work. And it's not only limited to Pokemon as well. It can be subject to other games as well, like looking at Call of Duty or even like 2K and Madden and things like that, and EA. Because they're like a brand too. They are like the brand for sport. Like, for example, like EA, when it comes to like Madden and FIFA and things like that, or I guess FC now, because they lost the whole FIFA branding thing. It's a brand in a sense, because like when you think about sports games, you think about EA. You don't think about anybody else. Of course, for basketball, it's 2K, but it's the same thing. They monopolize basketball. So when you think about basketball game, you only think about 2K. So when they put out the same trash every single year, you're going to buy it because it's like, this is the only option we have in a sense, you know what I'm saying? So for Pokemon, it's like people grew up with Pokemon, they love Pokemon so much, and they grew up with this game. So whenever they put out the same trash every single time, they're going to stick with it. They're going to keep on buying it. And then when other like, you know, lesser indie games come out, like Koromon and Nexomon and Cassette Beast and things like that, it's so similar to Pokemon that people are automatically like, oh, we're gonna write it off. We're not even gonna give it a chance. And I feel like that's disingenuous as well. I feel like they should give it a chance and stuff like that. Because if you want like a good Pokemon game that kind of bring you back to the whole black and white days, these games are very good. I'm playing Cassette Beast right now, and it's very strong. The story is good. The customization, everything is a very good game. But I can see why people don't want to play it and they'd rather play Palworld, because again, Palworld is a completely different game than what Pokemon is. Even compared to Legends Arceus, it's still a vastly different game. Unless you want to like pose the argument of like, I want Pokemon to move in a direction like that, to where they make a game like Palworld, where it's like, it's complete like void of the whole turn-based RPG type of thing, and like we still have Pokemon and stuff, and we pick our starters and things like that, but it's like vastly different. Like we have like, maybe it is a survival game, or it's some type of, you know, other game that's like that, instead of the whole we just throw our Pokemon out and then we fight and we kind of play through the story and we defeat the enemy team, we have rivals and we beat the Elite Four and we beat the champion type of thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what Legends Arceus did so well, because it was vastly different. You know what I'm saying? You had you had like Volo and things like that, which it wasn't seen in the other one. That's why Scarlet and Violet was kind of considered like a step down, because a lot of the features that were in Arceus were just taken out of Scarlet and Violet, which is why now a lot of people say, which is a very common consensus, is that if you mixed Legends Arceus and Scarlet and Violet, it would be the perfect Pokemon game. And that may be true, and maybe we'll get that with Generation 10. Like I said before, I doubt it though. And even if we do get something that's kind of like that, I still feel like it's going to be missing a lot of different things. And like maybe the when it comes to like the bugginess and the frame drops and things like that, and like how the DLC comes out and how it like the game feels kind of unfinished and things like that. Maybe it will still be the same way. I know we're supposed to be getting like the new Switch 2. I don't know what's going to be called, like the Switch 2 or whatever it's going to be called, but I know we're getting a new Switch soon. Maybe like later this year. So maybe it being on a new console completely might help Pokemon when it comes to like running it and things like that. But like the whole argument of like, oh well, Palworld really forced Pokemon to kind of be on their T, like, you know, on their Q's and P's, and like, you know what I'm saying, like really step up to the plate and make a generational game, like make the game we've been longing for so long. I truly doubt it. I genuinely doubt it. Maybe it's me being cynical, or maybe me just being like a negative Nancy, but I just don't see it, bro. I don't see. I feel like every single time we say this, when they announce the start, and we all start getting hyped for the new generation of Pokemon and things like that, and it comes out and it's like, this is not at all what we wanted. Or like they were building something kind of great with the past games, and then like they just took like 5 steps back. I don't know, bro. I don't know. And that's another thing too as well. Shout out to Sacred Almighty. He was saying that as well, because like they were going the right way. What was it with Legends Arceus? I think they said, he said that Legends Arceus sold worse than BDSP, and BDSP is so void of creativity, it's genuinely insane. So I don't know, bro. I don't know. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about like, well, you know, will Palworld really make Pokemon step up to the plate? How do y'all feel about the game itself? Do you feel like it's really a Pokemon clone, or you feel more of like it's kind of like it's just doing its own thing? You know what I'm saying? Like we see, like when it comes to like the designs and like when it comes to that part of the game, yes, there is some glaring similarities, some glaring copying, but when it comes to the rest of the game, there's nothing like it, bro. There's not even trainers. You don't even pick a starter. There's no gyms. Like it has like, we have like the bosses and stuff, but like even then, it's not like you have to go around picking up badges and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's vastly different. But y'all let me know down below. You know what I'm saying? This is a new type of video. I usually kind of do discussion videos a little bit on my second channel. I don't really do it on here, but this is more like a gaming oriented thing. So I kind of want to bring it on here. I have played Palworld on the channel as well. I have 2 videos up from the stream that we did. And I have been playing it a lot off stream and stuff, like just by myself in my own free time. And I do be enjoying it. Like I said, I like the gameplay loop. I really did like Arc when I was playing Arc. So this kind of like combined the worlds of Pokemon and Arc, like I said before. So I've been enjoying it personally. I don't like warranting this amount of success. It's kind of crazy, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? I definitely do get it. But yeah, y'all let me know down below. I love y'all so much. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the support on the last video. Y'all showed out a lot of love. We got a lot of new subs from that video too as well. I genuinely do appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. And then yeah, y'all, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace.